Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much for this invitation. I want to thank the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom for the ability to come and speak with you all this afternoon. I recognize my fellow members of Congress that have been here before and some that are coming after me to speak on our country's founding fundamental rights, our religious freedom. That government shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion nor prohibit its free exercise is a uniquely American protection at the founding of our nation. It is a core principle that allows us to be a beacon of light to the world, even in its most trying times. Though we may champion this freedom on paper, the real work, we all know, is executing it in the lives of everyone. You all who are here this afternoon know this better than so many of us. The commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the International Religious Freedom Act of 1998 comes at a time where we are witnessing a resurgence of domestic anti-Semitism, Islamophobia. The FBI is receiving reports of threats to churches, mosques, temples, synagogues at striking levels. Just outside Chicago, we have witnessed the brutal killing of a child, the death of individuals in worship, in their homes, that a child would be lost because of that person or that parent's, right, religious belief, that his light is gone. Wadea's light is gone. The light of another American dream has been snuffed out. Hatred does not belong in America or anywhere in the world. Not this hatred or any hatred. It's our duty as members of Congress, our duty as Americans to work to stop this, to uphold the torch of freedom, to say to our people and to the world, this light will protect you. So I live in a very unique place in the Virgin Islands, in the Caribbean, which has its own unique religious tolerance there. The Danes, this was their one stronghold in the Caribbean for many years, the Kingdom of Denmark, where the official religion was Lutheranism. And there's a large number of Lutherans that are there on the island in which I live. But because they were interested in commerce and in growth, they were very smart to understand that we've got to have religious tolerance. We've got to make a place where all religions can come and people can feel safe to worship, to work, to grow our economy as well. And so they were very clear that the town square would have no church. Unlike many places where you see a church in the town square, there is no church in our town squares because they didn't want prominence to any one given religion. We also have, because of that, a unique position in the United States of having the second oldest continually running synagogue in the Western Hemisphere, which comes from Sephardic Jews who, leaving the Spanish Inquisition, came to the island of St. Thomas because there was religious tolerance and there was plenty of work. The Danes recognized that these group of people would be able to fortify their economy and become a really strong merchant class. Hence, Camille Pissarro, one of the greatest founders of Impressionism, was born on the island of St. Thomas to a Sephardic Jewish family. Again, in the 1940s, after the creation of Israel, we had the burgeoning of a Palestinian community on the island of St. Croix, who were also part of our merchant class there. And we have all learned to live, to coexist with one another, to respect each other's religions, and to work so that our children can live in harmony. Listen, you can't be on a small island and have too much beef with one person or another. It's going to spill out, if not in your homes, on the beach, in the grocery store, where everybody knows your name. And if you're like myself and your family have lived there for many generations, you're probably related to the person as well. But it works. It works. So much so that at the beginning of the beginnings understanding in World War II of the Holocaust, what was happening, the Jewish community on St. Thomas wrote a letter to then President Roosevelt and said that we have talked with our local government and we can take thousands into our islands if you would accept them and allow them to come to us. We have a place here, a haven for them to be able to live. Unfortunately, the president did not take us up on that, and we lost many people because of that, because of lack of religious tolerance and understanding that all of us getting along together helps us all to grow. So much so that my youngest daughter, I have 5 children, my youngest is a girl, just started high school, and her high school teacher was just fascinated at the fact that this African-American girl was taking Arabic as her language. And the professor asked me, well, why would she be taking Arabic? I said, well, the next door neighbor speaks Arabic, and I guess, I need somebody, I'm a politician, I need to know what they're thinking about me. And so I need a mole around the neighborhood. So and hence my daughter is taking Arabic. We have got to recognize the humanity in each one of us. The humanity, and not just the humanity, but the potential. And I think so much sometimes that the founding fathers were not thinking of religious tolerance as a means of being right, but as a means of growing the United States, of a means of recognizing that our strength is our diversity. American ingenuity can only come about if we continually bring new ideas, new creeds, new religions. And so knowing that 20% of the victims of registered hate crimes in the United States last year was targeted because of their religion or the perpetrator's perception of their practice is something that cannot continue in our country. We must keep the practice of keeping our own house in order if we as Americans expect other nations to live up to the standards set by the International Religious Freedom Act. Because of that law and the work of so many following up on its edict, we have seen violators sanctioned for their oppression of religious minorities, and some repressive governments change some laws, but there is still much work to do. It's our duty to continue to protect religious freedoms here in the United States and throughout the world. Last year, we stood up and said no to the horrors of CCP's regime in Xinjiang, working through the Ways and Means Committee to pass the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act and other legislation to try to stop the greatest ongoing abuse of religious rights at a scale anywhere in the world. So whether it's in southern Levant, in Africa, or even in partner nations like India and Turkey, we know we must do more to create space and protections for the free association and practice of religion. You can know that you have my commitment to that. And I believe that you have so many Americans' commitment to make that happen. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you all, and can't wait for the continued work to keep going. Thank you.